All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I got a very, very interesting story about a Sweet Baby Inc. employee telling all of us what we already know, right? Every single one of us know what's happening with Sweet Baby Inc. And they want to try to pretend as if we don't. They want to try to pretend as if nobody knows what SBI does. They want to pretend as if SBI does nothing. They're the only company in the entire world that gets hired to do absolutely nothing. It's the weirdest narrative that they've built around themselves, but that's just what it is. But apparently, a SBI employee has recently admitted and come out and said that they want to burn the games industry to the ground.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, we already knew this, right? We already knew this. All you had to do was watch what Kim Belair said at the GDC conference when she gave her own little, talk or whatever, TED Talk. You can see that SBI has a certain mindset about people in the gaming industry or the gaming industry as a whole. They have a certain mindset about this industry. It's not like they're here because they love this industry. One of the co-founders said that she didn't feel safe in the gaming industry, so she went and made her own company within the gaming industry. It's like the weirdest thing, right? So I don't understand why people are so shocked by this, right? But at the end of the day, I'm glad that we can at least see for ourselves what they think and what they say out there in the open. So let's get into this article, guys, from that Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, again, guys, these psychopaths, they're out here because they've been enabled. Their entire life, they've been enabled. They've never heard the word no. They never really had any real struggle. All the struggles they've been experiencing are self-inflicted because they want to feel oppression for whatever reason, to be close to their ancestors. I really don't fucking know what they want to do at the end of the day. But this person, this creature right here on the screen that you're looking at right now, this is not a female, even though he probably wishes he would be. This is not a female. This is just someone who heavily advocates for the sucking of dick. This is called Cameron Wild, and he apparently this is from Game Devs of Color Expo, because clearly in order to make people feel seen and not oppressed, they need to segregate them into a completely different expo for game devs of color. So that's interesting. It says a Sweet Baby Inc. employee named Cameron Wild, who claims to be non-binary. Yeah, because that is just wow. Admitted that his goal is burning the games industry to the ground. Now, you're probably thinking this is facetious or this is just being hyperbolic. No, it's not. Watch, you're going to see for yourself. In a presentation titled How to Get Away with Murder, Subverting Genre Expectations. Wow. At the Game Developers of Color Expo, discovered by YouTuber Kirsha, Wild introduces himself, saying he is a narrative designer and sensitivity reader with a company called Sweet Baby Inc. Can you imagine somebody being a sensitivity reader and he's currently doing a showcase called How to Get Away with Murder? Like, okay, interesting. Wild, who according to Moby Games worked on Tales of Kanzera. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Tales of Kanzera. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, Alan Wake 2, The Crew Motorfest, Kingdom 80s, and God of War Ragnarok then declared, the stories we tell each other are way more than entertainment. They are how we create debate and preserve our collective values and beliefs, and we can and should make better, more expansive, more representational content. Oh, okay. So he worked on all the games that SBI said they really didn't do anything on, which I just find that to be interesting, right? Tales of Kanzera tried to make this entire fucking narrative about how SBI was hired prior to the game being even made and that they weren't even really involved with the game's creation. Well, that completely throws this out the water. And then Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Oh, SBI didn't really do anything. Yeah, okay. Well, clearly they did. Alan Wake 2. All the games that we've been mentioning that they themselves mentioned, and then they said it didn't do anything. And now this person's saying they did. I mean, who are we believing here? It's ridiculous. A narrative designer, sensitivity reader. Yeah, clearly, all these games needed that, clearly. Then a slide titled, Cool, so why am I here? One of the bullet points states, burning the games industry to the ground. And you know what's amazing? This screenshot right here is fucking fantastic, man. Shout out to John F. Trent for this screenshot, because just look at this. Look at this screenshot, man. You got angry as hell, right? You got the angry look here on the left. You got the SBI burning in the background here on the right. And then the middle says, we want cooler stories. Too bad we haven't been getting any. A safer world, bros. There is no such thing as a safer world, right? You already live, for the most part, as safe as you're ever going to be in history. How much safer you want it, I really don't understand. Your idea, see, here's the problem. These people, their idea of safety is nobody disagrees with them. That's what it is. Their idea of safety is we need everybody to agree with us. We need everybody to maintain our echo chamber. We need everybody to say the same things that we're saying. If you do not say the same things that I'm saying, you are violent, you are racist, and you're making me feel unsafe. That is literally their entire narrative. So here's the best part. The last bullet point. It literally says, no bullshit, burning the games industry to the ground. These people do not care about the industry that you enjoy as a form of entertainment. They don't care. They want to take that entertainment away from you, and they want you to be in misery because they themselves are in misery. Look at this. Every screenshot looks angry as fuck. Look at this guy. This guy's pissed. I mean, I would be pissed too if I was born like this. It's crazy. In the next slide title, so why am I still here? One of the bullet points state to prove that space where whiteness doesn't have to live is where some of the best stories are told. Is that true? Is that true? Considering that a lot of the entertainment that we consume today was originated by white people, as sad as that may be for you to admit, a lot of the greatest stories we've ever read and ever been told, especially in fiction, were made by white people. I mean, I again, as a Latino, this is something that I myself have to admit, and I have no problems admitting that, yet you seem to struggle with it. And then when you're told to make your own stories, then you don't want to do that. You rather race swap a white character and take their story. So again, you've been given every opportunity, especially in modern day, to tell your own stories, and yet you continue to want to co-opt stories that have already existed from white people who have made them, right? We see this happen in comics all the time. We're seeing it happen in movies all the time. Like, just you guys are just fucking terrible. You guys are really terrible in every capacity whatsoever. Then it says, Wild explained a lot of us who are really fighting for more inclusive games and storytelling don't have a choice when it comes to discomfort. A lot of us who are just existing don't have a choice, which makes this really hard often. But really, I started realizing that discomfort, or the place where whiteness doesn't have to live, is where some of the best stories are told, and is where genre storytelling lives. Bro, what are you talking about? This guy is absolutely retarded in every way. If you're really just existing, you would just exist. You wouldn't be out here shouting to the moon to people to try to give you some sort of noticing. Like, notice me, senpai. That's exactly what's happening right now. You're a joke. Everybody else just exists perfectly fine. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got discomfort. Everybody's got shit they got to deal with. Yet you're the only one begging everybody to make it better. Like that, you're the only one. Everybody else is dealing with their fucking problems like grown adults, and you're out here making stills about how you want to burn the games industry to the ground because it's too white. You're retarded. Without white people, you wouldn't have a games industry to burn to the ground. Later in the presentation, Wild explains why Blazing Saddles is his favorite film. The reason why I love it is beyond some truly Mel Brooksian slapstick humor and fart jokes. Blazing Saddles is extremely aware of social inequality and find its humor in that darkness, which means I can laugh in a way that is cathartic. It's a movie that isn't making jokes about me, but for me. And I think that's really awesome. You know, like, at the end of the day, these are the kind of people that are looking for content that is going to validate their oppression. That's literally all it is. They're looking for content that will validate their oppression, and they found it, right? And they'll look for it in old movies to validate the history that they believe to be true, and they will constantly do this in order to maintain their oppression. That way, if you say anything to them, if you would disagree with them in any way, if you try to hold them accountable for anything, they'll just claim racism. That is literally it. So again, guys, somebody like this is not good for the gaming industry. I don't know if they still work for SPI. I have no idea where they work now, but ultimately I don't care. They're exposing themselves little by little as time goes on, and it's only going to get worse. I'm telling you, there is going to be either a mass exodus or a mass firing, one of the two. And the games industry is going to burn to the ground. The AAA games industry is going to burn to the ground specifically. Because of people like this. And it probably has to, because it needs to be reset. And we need to get the fucking virus out of the system. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.